everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I've been in my craft room today playing, and I realized I need a video for tomorrow. And even though I was in the middle of this project, I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to stop right where I am and turn the camera on and have you guys join me. So we're going to make a folio and it's not finished. So let me show you what I'm using. I accidentally piece of adhesive stuck to this, but I am using another one of the new Mintake collections, or at least new to me, that I have. And this one is By the Lake. And it's really pretty. And this is the side with the fussy cuts, which I obviously have not cut out yet. Love the dandelions. So I have a lot of beautiful memories at my aunt's lake house, and we went there as soon as my kids were really little, like my son, before my daughter was even born, so he was barely walking. And then we went every summer after that, really, I think through 2019, and then there was COVID and some other things, and this is the aunt that I talk about a lot. But anyway, lots of great memories. So I'm making this one. It will probably end up being a gift for my aunts. So that being said, let me show you what I'm doing. And I've done folios similar to this. This is a little bit different size, different paper, and I haven't done one in a long time. So I thought, well, there might be some people new to my channel that haven't seen this or this style of making one. So I just stopped and turned on the camera. So I will have all the measurements for you in the description and the scoring, but let me tell you what you're going to want to start with if you want to make one the size I'm making. You can use any papers you have. The first piece is 12 inches by 7.5. So I just looked at my design and then I cut for the height. This is going to be the cover of my folio. I love that. I think that is an Australian Shepherd. I was going to say a collie, but anyway, I don't know. I love dogs, but not sure. And then all I did was cut to that 7.5, and then I folded it in half, that full 12 inches. The second page, I cut to 7 inches by 11.5 and folded it in half. But what you're going to see is these are going to look wonderful, I think, the sizes of them together. So then that means the next piece is 6.5 by 11. And same thing, and I love these plaids, but we're going to be layering pockets and different things on there as well. Now, this piece I did a little different, and this is optional how you do this. This one is actually larger. It is 8.5 then by the 10.5, because I wanted to go ahead and have pockets that are built in. So you cut your paper 8.5 by 10.5, and then you score it at 2.5 inches to make these pockets, and then folded it in half. This is as far as I got then. And then I cut out the score so that I now can glue these together and have pockets. All right. Now, there's a lot more we're going to do to this, but this is kind of just the basic. I want to have some kind of additional flip out page or flip up page, lots of pockets, and I'm going to layer. I have cut the paper for this, but I haven't even rounded the corners. I'm going to layer the front and back cover. That's pretty too. With these pages and make them the big, deep pockets. So again, similar to ones I've made before, but a little different, and the paper's definitely different. But I like to remind you guys all the time, use any paper that you like. So like I said, I was just crafting along, having a nice Friday. I actually worked on taxes today. What else did I do? I had a crack in my windshield. I'm just inking while I'm chatting, by the way. I can't figure that out. And I'm using the new T-dot. But let's see, I had a cracked windshield, so my husband and I dropped my car off this morning, and we've already picked it up. That's fixed. Thank goodness. And then what else did we do? Or did I do? I got a bunch of my patron packages all ready to go, and some have already shipped, so that's exciting for April. And if you're interested in that, you can, if you look at my YouTube profile, I do have links, and Patron's one of them. I'll try to remember to put it in the description in case you're interested. It's just a monthly, different levels. You can get a happy meal from me to help support my creative business. And anyway, so I did that. That's always fun. Super fun to get those wrapped up. What else? Talked to my daughter, Sarah, the one who lives in New York. Sarah had a little boo. She's okay, but she had a little boo-boo this week. Apparently, on her way to work, she was walking on Monday, and she just told me today. It's Friday. You know, these young adult children. Anyway, she face planted. She tripped, went down on her knees, and then for some reason her hands didn't come out to help catch her, and she hit her face and her nose, and she's a little bruised and scratched up and swollen nose and a cut on her chin and her lip. Poor baby. But she is okay. And she did tell me about it today, but I wish she had told me about it when it happened. But she said she didn't want me to worry. Now I just worry, what else does she not tell me, right? This is the thing about being a parent, right? Always, always something to worry about. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had inked everything. I just love these papers. And I am going to sew them together in a moment, but before I do, I want to go ahead. Aren't these gorgeous? Look at those. I want to find my corner rounder, and we are going to, I'm going to round this corner and this corner so that it nestles nicely on this page. I'm just doing, that's my center line. I'm just doing those two sides, and then for the piece that's going to go on this side, making sure nothing's upside down, I'll do these two corners. Now, if you don't want to round corners, you don't have to do any rounding, but I had already started that, rounded them. Okay, real quick before I ink, I'm going to put these together like this, and I'm going to put a thumb notch, and I want them to be the same, so I'm doing them at the same time, kind of shallow, and hopefully in the middle, but they will at least, they'll be the same since I punched them together. And a touch of ink, and it'll be ready to put these down. Now, what I have done in the past with this type of pocket on a folio is it gives some more stability, even though the paper is already a nice weight. And then we can have removable page flips. So I'll show you that in a minute, that fold over, but they then slide in, and then you have a page flip that you can then pull out. I love them. This is one of my favorite kind of folios to make. It's not hard, and it, you know, I mean, it is multiple pieces of paper, but okay, I'm just going to glue this down. So glue on 3 sides. Make a nice big opening. You can bring your glue up if you don't want it to be the full height. I'm not worrying about being too narrow, but I'm going to leave mine pretty large. Like I said, I think I want to do the folded flip. And with that, it's gonna be a fold, and it's not gonna slide and get lost down in there anyway. Okay, isn't that beautiful? And then same thing here. So anyway, lots going on. Always a lot going on. Okay. I hope you guys will let me know what you think of this project, and if you want to make one, or if you're going to make one, and leave a comment, give the video a thumbs up, all those things. All right, look how nice. And again, we can decorate this, but this paper is phenomenal. I don't even know I don't want to cover up any of the images. And that little boat. I just love it. Okie dokie. And then I was going to say on this one, well, we've got the swan and the little duck. And then here we have the little dog again, and they've got their fishing and their picnic basket. I just love it. Okay, now I want all of these to be nestled in here where I can see each of the layers. Like, I don't want to have it like this. Let me show you. Like where they're all down at the bottom or something. You can see them here, but not at the bottom. So I'm going to do my best to center each one on its friend. I do need to make sure they're in the middle. Yeah, it's a little tedious. It's okay though. We're going to clip them together and it's all going to be good. And it's only 4 sheets, so it's not that hard. And it does not have to be perfect. That looks pretty good to me. So I am going to grab some paper clips. That's a lot of paper clips. I don't need that many. And this is going to help hold my papers where I want them while I punch the holes. Okay. So again, nothing difficult, but it's one of those projects that I think is very impressive. And like for me, since I kind of want it to be a memory type book, it's the perfect size, I believe. You can put photos and all of those things in there. Okay, so I'm just making sure they're all where I want them. And I'm going to use the center, which is 6 inches, so that I grab all the layers, right? And I'm going to poke a hole at the middle, so at 3 inches. And then I'm going to do, I think I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch from the top and 3/4 of an inch on the bottom of this layer. I was thinking I might do an inch, but I think that's what I want. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Just a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch that we're going to do to hold it together. And I'm going to use this waxed thread that I have that's approximate, and cut it approximately 3 lengths of the height of my page. Somebody asked me about this ruler, and I said I need to do some research. Then I realized it does have some branding right here. www.szthd.com, and it says MC and TID. I'm going to see if I can find a link to it, but I'll also reply back to that comment for you in case you're not watching and you missed that. But I can't remember who it was. It might have been Ethel that asked me. And I'll see what I can do. It is a really nice ruler. One thing I like about it is it has the numbers on both sides. It doesn't have the cork or the rubber backing. So that's nice if you really need it to not slip, but I like that I can move it easily. So, and it doesn't get stuck. Okay, I'm going to just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You guys all probably know how to do this, but I'll talk you through it. If you don't, you can fast forward if you want to. Start on the inside middle hole. Pull your thread through, hold the tail, come up through the top hole on the outside. So now we're back in. All right, skip the middle hole, come down through the bottom hole, back to the outside. And now we're going to come up through that center hole again where we already have been. And this tail is much longer than that tail, but it's okay. I cut my string way too long anyway. Okay, you want 1 string on either side underneath this middle string. I check the back to make sure I don't have anything twisted up weird. And then I'm going to tie a knot. 1, 2, and then I switch the tails in my hands, and then I do 1 more knot. And then I'm gonna cut this really long one off. And I'll decorate those later. So easy, right? But again, already it just looks impressive, I think. Let me put these away for next time. All right, now these pockets are already built in. I just need to glue them down. So I'm gonna add glue to both sides, the outside, inside of the pocket. And like I said, I did cut them apart. I just cut the score out. I did that before I turned the camera on. And it takes some of that bulk out so that everything, you know, folds up nice and neat. I'm gonna crease these down good now that they're sewn in. Look at these beautiful papers. I'm so excited. All right. Now we just have so many options. I mean, honestly, you could stop here, right? And I could do like a photo of my kids at the lake in Alabama, and I could put a caption. I could do like a little mini scrapbook, you know, put some extras in here, maybe a letter to my aunt or something. But you guys know me, I'm gonna really fluff it up and do all kinds of things. But just know you can, sometimes if you just need a simple project, this would be such a lovely gift, right? With just a few more little things. Or you can make it extra. And I'm going to hopefully go for extra. Now I have more papers from this kit, but these are the offcuts from the pages I've already used. So I'm hoping that I can make some of the orientation of the images work for what I want to do, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, for the flip, see, I've got a bird here, right? And I don't really want the bird sideways or upside down, but it's not the end of the world. The other thing is we can always have the wood show, right? And then you have the lovely image when you open it up. So let me just think for a second what I want to do. And like I said, I also want to do some kind of flip out page. And a lot of times when I do these, I'll adhere it before I glue the pocket down. I'm really planning ahead, but that's okay, right? I mean, everything, you can do anything. I could put the flip out page on this page and not on the back cover. So again, it's very easy to alter this with lots of different, you know, any techniques that we've ever done, you can use. Okay, because of the orientation, I don't think it would be that big of a deal if the bird is sideways. Let me see what else I have. I also have this lovely, lovely bird, and I kind of think the tree looks interesting. The other thing that I could do is I could put it this way and then put a fussy cut over the bird if I wanted to, and that would be interesting. I've got a lot of pattern going on is the other thing. So I'm thinking, and this is what I have to do, you know, when I'm designing, I may want, you know, to do the plaid, or as I said before, that wood grain. Where'd I put it? It's right here. We could do the wood grain. Okay, I can do this exactly in half, and then I'll have a 6-inch flip on this side and 6 inches that go in. And I think for this first one, I'm gonna do it that way. So I'm just gonna fold this piece of paper. It is an offcut. It is 12 inches long. And I know it will fit in. I'll give you the width. It's 4.5 inches wide. And I know that that's a width that will fit in this pocket. So this is what I meant by a flip page. So we have this, you open it up, and I'm okay with the bird, you know, being sideways. And then we have this space where we can have more pockets, journaling space, whatever we would like. But then it can also come out. And if we want, we could have a nice journaling card, a photo, those types of things. And I do know I want to do some of my family photos in this one. So what I may do is leave those things a little unfinished and then do a flip through of it once I put the photos in there. That might be fun for you guys to see and for me to share as well. Okay, so again, it would be fun to put a label, a tab, all kinds of things we can do. But I'm just going to put that as a placeholder for right now, just to remind myself. I am going to go ahead and round these corners because I think they will look nice rounded. And I'm just thinking through. I haven't ever crafted with this kit before. And I'm definitely enjoying it. It's so pretty. All right. All right, all right. Here, I would like some kind of pocket. This one's pretty well set, except for stuffing it. We can also do some belly bands, which would be really cute. I think this green on the green plaid definitely is making me happy. All right, this is the page that is 7 inches. This piece is 8.5. So I'm gonna take, goodness, 1.5 inches off. There we go. And I hope you guys don't mind that I didn't have a full prototype to show you before we got started. Like I said, sometimes my schedule kind of shifts around, and I usually film my videos. I film videos in the morning usually, and I've usually thought about it and prepped it the afternoon before. So most days I film a video in the morning, and then I start thinking about my next project, and then I get it all ready and thought through, and then the next morning I film it. Now sometimes I'm a little ahead of schedule and I'll have several already, filmed, or, I'll do, anyway, multiples or, different things. So that's kind of my schedule. And I have other things that I do, of course, in between there besides just YouTube stuff. But today there was no filming, and I hadn't even prepped a project yesterday because, like I said, there's been a lot going on. And that's okay. I may decorate that belly band some more, but for now I am happy with it. I do want a pocket, and I keep going back to this piece, but I also have this card. Okay, so there's a set of, or a page that has a bunch of these cards, right? And these are gonna be great to tuck in pockets, journal on, all of those things. Look at that frog. But the other thing that I can do is, like, I could round that corner and just make it a nice tuck spot just with one of these. So that's an option. I'm gonna keep that for a tab. I keep going back to these pages. I mean, I have a lot of paper here, and I just, it's like I just want to make sure I utilize it in the way that I want. I think, this one would definitely lend itself to a horizontal load, a top load. So I'm going to do a 2-inch deep, and it is 5 inches wide. It's wide enough. So we're going to round this bottom corner, and it gives a little floral, a little bit of the green on the plaid, and have a pocket. Now, not every page has to have a pocket. Like I said, I want some of these to hold some photos. So I'm going to put this one here. I do like the idea, though, of being able to, like, tuck photos in, and then, she can just hold them and look at them. This page, though, again, I may do a quote, a collage, a photo, so I'm going to leave that blank for now. And I've got these pockets. And like I said, I have a bunch of fun cards. I can matte layer them right onto other papers, and I think she'll enjoy that too because the images are so pretty. Okay, on this one, I may do another 2-inch pocket. Let's see what paper. Oh, I just have a lot of things out on my desk right now. I think this one will be okay as a oriented horizontally, right? I want it to be the 5 inches like the other one, so I need to cut off a 1/2 inch. Is that going to be a 1/2 inch? 1/4 inch? I don't know. And I definitely want to be careful. All right, I should have just marked it, but I decided let's just eyeball it. It'll be fine. Look at me living on the edge. How close did I get? A little shorter than 5 inches. It's okay. I hope that shows you use what papers you have. If you have a scrap or a piece that will work and you like how it looks on your pattern, even if it's a little bit smaller than you were thinking, it's okay. Or if it's a different size than the one I'm using, it's okay. I like to encourage you guys that it really is okay. All right. Yay. All right. Let's talk about or think about a flip out page, because I've not done that yet, and I think I want to, and then maybe I'll do some angled pockets on these. So a flip out page. This one, maybe this one, and then I get to have that bird, and it's okay that it's the same plaid. In fact, it may look really nice that way. There's lots of ways to do flip out pages. I've shown you guys lots where you make a hinge and it folds out. I'm thinking mine, I might install it like this. This will be interesting. Let's see. The plaid isn't going to line up, and that's okay. But if I install it like this, and just so that it opens up, and then we have this interesting, how about if we do an angle? I talked about wanting an angle pocket. What if, I'm going to be brave, and I'm just going to cut from where I folded it towards the other side. I just keep dropping everything today. Okay, now I have this piece to make something with as well, so it's maximizing some of my paper. All right, I am going to round this corner. Now, let me show you what we have. We have, when you get to this page, this definitely will get something layered on there. It's going to open up like this. We have this beautiful bird and tree to look at, and now we have this big pocket. So we will install it like a pocket, and then it'll flip open. And then I think I'm going to use one of these other papers with a pretty image to do something here on the front. Line it up, I think right there. All right, so glue, we just need it along the fold and along the bottom. I'm not going to bring glue up here or, of course, the opening, because I want to have it be roomy. Cute. And it's a nice surprise, I think. It's a long branch on that tree. And again, I can put some scriptures, some quotes, different things like that that she'll enjoy reading. Okay. Now, I think she'll think this frog is too cute. That's also beautiful. So many choices. That is a beautiful scene too, just looking back at the lake house and all of that. But I think the frog's gonna win, and I'm hoping I have close a bar I'm looking in my scraps. Somewhere I had all that navy paper I've used that I told you guys about. Oh, I see it. I see it. Let me grab a few pieces. I just think it's going to be the right color to label a little bit. Okay, this is the paper I'm talking about. I got a huge pack of it and I still have a lot left. It's some kind of like stationery. I think it'll work and be nice if I just mat my frog, but I am going to round his corners. I just want a little bit smaller. But if I mat the frog on here and then put him on there, I think he's gonna look really cute. And then later I can add, again, a label, a word, you know, other things if I want to. But that way we'll break up some of that plaid. All right, I'm gonna just cut this so I have a nice border of navy around the card. I'm not really measuring, I'm just using my card to help me eyeball about the size that I need. I love to not have to measure. I don't mind measuring, and I do a lot of projects that I have to give you guys really precise measurements, but sometimes you don't need them. You can just layer paper, sew it together, and have a great project. Oh, that side's pretty too. It's so hard. That's one thing. I love having double-sided paper because there's so many things, you know, you can do. But when you're ready to glue something down, or you know you're not ever going to see that side of the paper again, it can be a little sad. A little sad. I'm trying to think if I've got a little bit of room. If I want like a little tab. I said I was going to save this for a tab. Let's just fold it in half. And let me get my little template that I made that has the little teeny tiny corners and turn it into where it just looks like a tab, not just a rectangle. And it's okay to have just a rectangle, but I like that. I'll add some ink and we'll glue it down. And that way the person who gets to this page, they'll be like, ooh, there's something to explore. Let me open that. Now, we definitely don't want it to go over, you know, the center, but there's plenty of room. So I'm going to just glue it down. And so a lot of times this is what my day of crafting, or my time that I'm crafting, looks like. Or if I am planning a project, you know, I do the prototype and this is the process I go through. I take some notes, think about if I would like to do something a little different, or how you can do variations, right? And then I usually then go ahead and do some prep, you know, with the papers I'm going to use on camera, and then the videoing happens. But today I was like, you know what? It's okay. You can just share your process and make something beautiful at the same time. There we go. And I do know people love seeing, oh, this is what we're making today. And not have the is that something I even am interested in? You know, the question mark. All right, I'm trying to decide. I think it is a lot of pattern, but I love this side of the paper. I'm wondering, I think I want to do a photo there. And that's so pretty. I don't want to mess with it. Okay. I know I'm flipping the papers a lot. I'm sorry. All right, now we get here. We have a flip out. We come here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this corner. We're going to sacrifice that side of the paper. We're going to have some plaid to go with these beautiful, I don't know, water lilies or whatever we have here. There's some dragonflies. Whoa, don't want the glue there. All right, again, glue on two sides. I'm going to bring it right to the corner. There we go. Now, on this one, I did that flip like this. And again, it looks kind of plain, but it's going to look different when I'm done, right? Making it into a scrapbook. Let's see. I have, ooh, we haven't seen this side. All right, so let's do this one the same way so that it has that consistency. This one may be a little different width, which is okay, but it'll be the same 6 inches. Yeah, it's like a 1/4 inch because it's, again, one of the offcuts from these pages we just did. Let's make sure it slides in, because if not, I can trim it off. Slides in with no problem. And I love that knot there. Ooh, but I love this too. I think I want that to be the front. All right, let me get these corners rounded. Touch ink. This is going to be a great card, like I said, to layer photos on. And this is my aunt who is dealing with dementia. And I think, I mean, she still remembers who I am and things, but she's starting to get a little confused about thinking people are other family members that have already passed on. But I think it's something she'll just love looking at, and she'll enjoy the pictures because she still recognizes family pictures and things like that and enjoys it a lot. Okay, so photos. And then I have all of these, and there's a whole nother page of these as well that I can use to decorate with, and to, if I wanted to, I could leave the pretty side and put a photo. You know, I'm going to print a bunch of photos off on my printer that I already have digitally, but then all these different things and photos can go in these pockets. Normally, depending on the imagery, you know, I would be adding things to this side of the page as well. I'm going to put a photo there, but I really don't want to cover up. These are gorgeous. That one just kind of fades away, doesn't it? These gorgeous papers. So I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them for her to look at. And I may put another pocket here, or this is where I may write a letter to her and glue it down so she doesn't lose it. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. A ribbon, you know, a beautiful ribbon closure. I may do an eyelet and tie the ribbon to it, you know, or attach the ribbon to it. So again, she doesn't lose it. But those are things that I'll think about. So just a basic video showing you guys how to put one together. And the possibilities. I will do a flip through though. It may be a while, maybe a week or two, but I will do a flip through and show you guys. I think it's going to be gorgeous, and I love the paper and I'm happy with it. I hope you do too. Until next time, everybody, have a great day.